So let's try and keep this down so that they don't find out. This car actually comes with, hello good people, welcome to Keep Left, your car guide to all things cars and all things automotive. And as always, my name is Kev, the host who knows most about cars, and you're right about that. Now, today's car in review is none other than the LEXUS RX 270. This is the third generation of the LEXUS RX models, which came out back in the early 2000s, and this is the third generation. Now, if you come close, this is basically the denotation of the car in review today, which is the RX 270. Basically, the 270 will denote the size of the engine, which is a 2700cc engine, and the RX is a Lexus lingo for radiant crossover. Remember that they have so many denotations, but this just means this car is capable on both ends of its consumer usability. Now, the most important thing about this car and what I love most about this car is the interior. The interior of this car is enviable. In fact, if you consider the competitors of this particular model, which happen to be the BMW X5, the Audi Q7 and the Q5, the Mercedes-Benz ML division, which now is the GLE division, this car is well positioned to tackle that sort of competition. And this is why. Just follow me to the interior of the car. Firstly, if you enter the car, you have what it takes for you to call yourself a luxury brand. Definitely, you look at the seat functions. This car has several of them, and in fact, if you are to note, when you come to the door, it has memory seats. And to prove to you they work, just look at when I enter the car and have a seat. Look at what happens when I start the car. Notice what happens to the seat, and I won't touch anything. You see, the seat moves itself to a preset position, depending on what you have. And you have 3 positions for that, which means 3 different people can put the different positions. Further to that, you might be wondering, now the seat is so close, so what happens? You can always move the seat, but this is the magic. Notice what happens when again I put off the car. The seat moves back. This is stuff of dreams. I like that about Toyota. And the thing is, look at the color combination that you get from this car. This sort of maroonish, reddish clayish color blends in so well with the dark interior. I'm sure Toyota, with their laziness, would have gone, just stuck with black interior. But this is Lexus. Come on, guys. They went on ahead to put in this clayish color to it. I don't know what to call it. If you know the color of this interior, put it on the comments section. Now, if you dive in furthermore into the car, remember we're talking about luxury. And if we talk about luxury, remember the steering controls have to be there. So you have your menu inside here, voice activated control. You'll have your controls for the radio and all that. And this is perfect. The positioning, if you just look at how I'm sitting, this position is more than perfect, because you want to be comfortable when you're sitting in this car, and you're looking for an almost raised position in terms of your sitting position. So this is perfect enough. Now, if you start the car again, we'll start this car so many times today because it has so many intriguing features. Let me just put the radio down so that we do this. So the first thing that pops out when you look at the center console of this car is the position of the gear shift knob. I'm not the hugest fan of the positioning of the knobs, the gear shift, where it is, because I've always said in my previous videos that this definitely interferes with the dials that are on here for your AC control and this center positioning, but it's something that you can work with. I like how they put in, you see, these are the sort of details that Toyota went to actually put themselves in a position where they can say Lexus is actually a luxury brand. This silvering sort of finish is something that Toyota could have done without, but the fact that they put it tells you the sort of clientele that they are seeking to get. If you come closer to the center console, this car has this sort of a mouse, just where to control your menu. See, this is what the car comes with, the infotainment system, which is a stock one, which comes with the car standard. and this is the navigation system. So if you this sort of a toggle here acts like a mouse, so you can just pop into different things. So furthermore, there's sort of like a menu here which you can access to get to the different for example, you see now I've come to the menu, and instead of doing something that is touch screen, and it would have been possible by there, but if you just look at me from the position I'm sitting, if this was touch screen, you see you'd have to every other time have to pop in just to press something and all that. But by the mere fact that this is here, just look at the comfort that I get when I access my sort of like mouse. You see what it does? You can just go into your audio, just press in. Wow, you can go to the different stations, you can go up, back, you can go to your menu, you can go to setup. This is the climate control. As in, this is this is too good. I'm not used to this from Toyota. Good one for pulling this out of the hat. You see, you can go to your climate settings, set your AC and all that without accessing this. And this is why I was saying, when Toyota put this here, they went they thought about the fact that this can actually be in a place where it hinders you to access all this. But you don't need to access all this, because you can easily access your climate control, and that's what that is here. So in terms of compartments, you are very well looked out in terms of where to put things. First of all, the one thing that I'm always very skeptical about, cup holders. You just press on this one here, and voila, 2 cup holders just pop out like that, and they are good size. If these 2 cup holders are not enough for you as the driver, you have your own cup holder on this side. You just press on this. I hope you can see this. You just press on this one here, voila, and a cup holder emerges. Well thought out. When we come back to compartments, this is the main compartment. You can see that you have this main compartment here. That's good enough. And you have another compartment here. Now this is the other compartment here, which is big enough, and that's more than enough in terms of seated here, the sitting position and all that. Also, if you just come below here, there is another compartment. So remember, this thing just doesn't serve as a bridge, but you have another compartment here, which is very nice. At the back of the car, you know, I'm a huge fan of cars that have space, especially a car this size. Look at the size of this car. Look at this. Sometimes I get carried away, but I'm just joking. So at the back, the car is also considerate of the people who sit at the back. So if you come at the back, there's an AC adapter here where you can just plug in if you wanted to charge something. There are the climate control it also has vents at the back to consider you. Headroom here is more than enough. You also have this lighting system at the back. Remember, most cars will minimize this by just having one at the center. There is one for the back section of people sitting at the back, and there's also the front one, which is very nice. Look at the seats. These seats are perforated and they are perfect. This venting is very nice. So there's a lever here, which you can just notice. When you pull this lever, you can actually pull this seat backwards, and then guess what? Look at the sitting position. The floor of this car is flat, the back. Most of the cars will have a transmission tunnel there for the axle, but this is flat, which means if I pop back in, just notice what happens. Someone can sit in the middle of this car perfectly without having without the need of being wedged. This sitting position actually gets to my head, but by the mere fact that this is flat, someone can sit here perfectly. If you don't want someone sitting there, guess what? This pops out, and look at this. By the Toyota, you could have just done this as a plastic and all that, but look at this. When you press here, guess what? More cup holders. I don't know if this car is insinuating that it's for people who drink a lot, but look at this. The finish is still very nice, and guess what? More space. You get. For people who have small families, you cannot overlook the fact that when you have these compartments, you can always put so many things. and this is to aid the fact that if you put something here like a bottle and probably it can pour on your surfaces, at this point this is plastic. Even if it was pour, you will properly wipe this and you're done with it. So this is a very nice feature. This sort of wood grainish darkish finish is very nice. It just goes into the speaking volumes as to how much this car considers the luxury community. So now Toyota don't want you to know about this secret, because if they told you this secret, you're probably going to tell other car manufacturers and they're going to find out and they're going to have this feature in their cars. So shh, let's try and keep this down so that they don't find out. This car actually comes with a voice activated boot. So watch this. Open up le boot. Shazama. I'm just kidding. This boot has two functionalities. If you follow me to the front again, so when you press on the boot pop here next to the fuel filler, this will open for you the boot automatically. The second function of this is the fact that this also on the key fob, it actually has a functional boot operator, unlike most cars where you have this and it never works. And this is aided by the fact that these are gas propelled, so they actually open, and the electronics will actually help this latch. Now, if you think that is awesome, I'm telling you, these guys were at par when it comes to the big luxury brands. So if you press here again, I'm sure this is a feature you've seen in most European cars. If you press here again, guess what? It goes down. And latches perfectly. The back seats, when you just pull this, notice what happens to the seats. They will lie flat, and then you have an increased size in terms of boot. So in terms of space for the boot, this car is well thought of, because this space is more than enough. This happens to be the inline four-cylinder engine, which, as I mentioned earlier on, is a 2,700 cc. In the RX, which is denoted by RX 270, in this generation of Lexuses, this happens to be a 2013 model. There are three other variants of this, two other variants, sorry for that, of this particular engine, which happen to be a 3.5 liter and another 3.5 liter, which is complemented by a hybrid engine. Now, this particular engine is the 1AR FE, the first category of the 3.5 liter engine. Has a V6 engine, a 3,500 cc, and it comes with a 2GR engine, 2GR FSE engine, and the hybrid one comes with a 2GR engine, but this one, because it's hybrid, it's a FXE engine. The battery is well located under here. Remember, these are things that are necessary to see unless you're actually working on them, and as I mentioned, you will rarely work on anything on a Toyota because they are extremely reliable. So this, you just pop it back in. This is in case probably you want to give someone else, not yourself, to jump their car, because Toyotas don't do those things. They are so reliable. So now, having said that, these cars, in terms of gearboxes, they come with two different gearboxes. This particular one comes with a 6-speed automatic gearbox. The other variants, and this is the hybrid model, comes with a 8-speed automatic gearbox, which is complemented by the electric engine that it comes with. The other thing is, this car happens to be a front-wheel drive variant of the RX 270. The others that come with the four-wheel drive, and this probably explains why we have a flat floor at the back, because there's no transmission tunnel, and for all that, where you put the axle and all that, you have the exhaust pipes turning off to the back. This car has a very nice fuel consumption considering the size of the car, because this in its class, it's actually one of the best, because remember, because we don't have any drivetrain going back to the back tires, this is front wheel drive cars, this car becomes very fuel efficient, and as such, this car is able to do 10.4 kilometers to the liter. Considering this size of car, that's very economical. The other thing you can consider is there are Prados that come with the inline 4 engine, and the fuel consumption of those Prados is not the best. It's actually very lousy. So one thing that I've noticed when I'm driving this car is the fact that it is very light. This car is huge, but you can actually just drive it with one finger. This is how much this car is light, and it's not light in terms of its weight, but it is a thought that has been put in terms of the mechanics of this car. This car is very light, and you can actually just drive it very easily, and this means it becomes open to all manner of owners. It's not a car that you actually have to really grip the steering so that you can have the car well handled, but the fact that it is light in terms of its steering wheel and just the size and how it goes on the road, it doesn't lumber along. In fact, when I just press on the pedal, this car moves. Just see, it's powerful enough. 3000 rpm, we're already at 100. You see, it goes, and it goes very well. In the center console of this car, in fact, in the instrument cluster, there is more than enough information that you get with this car. It gives you the range in terms of fuel, and the dials are simple enough. They unfortunately doesn't come with the electronic dials, but this tells you enough. But you can always switch the menu to give you what it wants. Again, the center console of this car features the infotainment, which will help you control the temperature, so you can always work on this with the toggle and choose what you want. For like now, we want this AC to blow us right in the face, so we press on that and the AC will just turn itself on. Or you can go to a section where you want to use it manually, so that works both ways. What are some of the drawbacks that you can think about in terms of these Lexus brands? If you get this particular model, which is the RX 270, there is really little that can go wrong. These cars are very durable. The only thing that I can say is a drawback is they don't hold to their values so well, but they place themselves in a perfect place where the price is not really the issue. It's what the car offers in terms of its proposition. And in terms of looks, this car looks spot on. It looks very nice. It has very subtle cues that make you know that this car means business. They didn't come to play when the Toyota were designing this particular generation of the Lexus. Thank you so much for sitting through this episode, and if you've liked it, give it a thumbs up. In fact, give it a very huge thumbs up. And for more videos, press on the bell icon so that you can be notified of upcoming videos. And aside from that, subscribe. Data shows that only 30% of people watching my videos are subscribed. So let's get the 70% so that we can do 100% of subscribers watching, and so much more. Thank you so much. It's been real. Until next time, it is peace.